Welcome to the Late Night Picture Show, Anna Biller double feature. I got a problem here tonight. See this? We're gonna fix it. Okay, I know what you're thinking, Murph. This is bottom shelf whiskey. Yes, it is. I don't even know if it's really whiskey. It used to be Canadian. Now it says it's American. I read that it's not even really whiskey. It's kind of a whiskey-flavored vodka for the most part. Which, okay, fine. I mean, it's not like you're going to just drink this on the rocks. Hang on. No, you're definitely not going to drink that on the rocks. It's not awful. It's actually smoother than I expected. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of whiskey flavor there. Just a little bit. But anyway, New Year's is right around the corner. And we're going back to the 70s tonight. The 70s, 7 and 7. I mean, come on. My parents' friends coming over to play Tripoli. Drink some 7 and 7 to ring in the new year. I got to tell you this first off. I read about a guy, a bartender, who makes kind of his own 7 and 7. So he blends like 5. He should have made it 7. But he blends like 5 expensive whiskeys together to imitate the flavor of this. What did I pay for this? Like $6? Bottom shelf whiskey. What kind of hipster asshole is going to mix 5 good whiskeys together to make it taste like, I'm not going to say a shitty whiskey, but to make it taste like $6 whiskey, and then not even put 7-Up in it? I don't even remember what he put in there besides 7-Up. Anyway, I'll stop now. See that? This was really the only poster I could find. So I thought, why waste paper when I can just show you my Blu-ray? Viva, a film by Anna Biller. Starring Anna Biller, Jared Sanford, Bridget Burno. Picture Bruno with no U in the middle. Chad England. Okay, listen to this. Listen to this. Director, producer, writer, editor, production, and costume designer, and probably even music, too. Anna Biller. She does it all. Oh, wait. 2007 Anna Biller Productions. She should just play all the parts. Not really. Viva, 2007 Anna Biller Productions, starring Anna Biller. And I wrote Andrea Lane. I know she's not a big star, but I actually knew her. So I met her in 2007, so she was in this movie right before I met her, she starred in this movie, and then she moved near me, and I met her, and even tried to date her. But I didn't know she was a freaking movie star. What the hell? I did some artwork with her, so. Okay. Forget Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice for just a minute. We have Mark and Sheila and Rick and Barbie. I'd be careful not to say Bambi. I keep wanting to say Bambi. Barbie Benton. Only Barbie in this picture is Anna Biller. So Mark is a newly unemployed actor. And his wife Sheila is growing tired of his omnipresence. Yeah, he's homing around a little bit too much for Sheila's taste. She liked it better when he was working. Well, Barbie, on the other hand, she has the opposite problem. Rick is always on the road. He's always off. I don't know what Rick does, but he's one of those guys that's always on a business trip with his skis. Has a lot of business in Vail and Aspen. Yeah. So he's always away on business, leaving Barbie bored and lonely. Well, after Rick and Barbie have a fight about him being away so much, she calls Sheila only to find out that Sheila and Mark broke up as well. It's girls' night out. Well, it's time for the girls to have some fun. And what better way to have fun than to become prostitutes? Hang on. I need a drink for that. What better way? Yeah. They get all dolled up. You know, kind of see-through and not wearing a bra and, you know, burn those bras. It was still like that in 1972. Not in my house, but out in the world. They meet a madam and start their new adventure with new names. Sheila becomes Candy, and Barbie, as if her name isn't hookerish enough already, becomes Viva, from one of her favorite magazines that she reads in the bathtub. Well, Sheila's kind of looking for a sugar daddy out of all this. And she meets her sugar daddy. Now, he's not an attractive gentleman. Picture that, for a more modern reference, picture that Anna Nicole Smith situation. Remember when she met that guy? It was like, I don't know, 100 years old? Looked like the Crypt Keeper? Anyway, Sheila finds her rich sugar daddy and her white horse. Yeah, he buys her a horse. But Viva, meanwhile, gets tossed into a nudist colony full of free lovers and a little bit over her head, like right off. So Madame sets her up with Clyde, who's not really much less over her head. Clyde's kind of a liberated artist, likes to paint naked women, likes to sleep with naked women, you know. And he has a bunch of hanger-on-her friends, because he's somewhat famous. So he has a lot of parties. There's a lot of people around, including this lovely black lady named Agnes. Well, Barbie she actually has more fun with Agnes than she has with anybody else, and some of that fun's naked, which doesn't make Clyde too happy. But anyway, she has a romp with Agnes, while Mark meets his brother's neighbor, Kelly, played by my old friend, Andrea, who takes him to an audition and an orgy. Now, I don't know if all Hollywood auditions are followed by orgies, but I guess if maybe you're a former soap star already, then yeah, maybe so. And Andrea's naked. Like, I think all of her scenes in the movie, she's naked. I mean, it's not alarming. I saw her naked in real life, so... But that's another story. Well, suddenly, our movie becomes Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, the musical. I don't know if that's what Ms. Biller intended. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was. So, Viva, dressed like a Bali dancer, or maybe one of those dancers from Thailand, I don't remember the names of them. And I just covered that in a zombie movie. Anyway, Viva's singing in this elaborate costume while bodies writhe all around her. And men are vying for Viva. And Mark is there at the party. This is the orgy, one and the same. And he recognizes Barbie as the main attraction. But Clyde has other plans. Clyde is going to get Viva for once and for all. Cue forbidden fruit scene and trippy animation. We're still pretty close to the 60s. We can have trippy animation. But Barbie wakes up in a sea of naked people on a giant bed and realizes that she really just wants Rick. She doesn't want all this. So she goes back home. And what does she find? Well, Rick's still gone on his trip. And we know what's going on with Rick. We've seen it. I'm not going to tell you, but we know what's going on with Rick. She comes home. And God damn it, Mark and Sheila are back together. Rick's still gone. Well, okay. Will she get what she wants, or is Rick gone for good? And I'm not even going to mention this. I don't want to put up a trigger warning. Okay. So let's sum this up here. This movie is really cheesy. I'm not going to lie, it's really cheesy. The lines, the acting, the whole scenario. But you know what? I was transported right back to 1972. And even though I was just a kid in 1972, it's magical when a movie can take me back like that. Another movie that did that for me was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Man, if that wasn't like just going back in a time machine for me, the cars, the clothes, everything, I saw all of that right around here. That was a little earlier. And I don't know if I'm going to review that movie or not, but it did the same thing to me. I had read somewhere that Biller spent years collecting bric-a-brac for the set, and it's great. I wish I had some of that for my house. Most of you know that I live in the house I grew up in, well, here in Salt Lake anyway, after I moved. I moved here in 1970 from Reno, my hometown. Yeah, I will review Reno 911 if... Anyway, I moved here in 1970, and I lived here until 1981. Then I lived in Florida for a long time. But that's the circus days. So, I was here in 1972, and all the stuff that my mom bought in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, that shit all went in the yard sale. And all the stuff I found down here in the basement from when I was a kid is out in the house again. So it is 1972 in my house. And I'm drinking Galliano like it's 1972. So, what a wonderful trip down memory lane for me. Now, if you're younger, you're not going to have this same effect. It's still a great period piece, and it's going to take you to a place that you don't know, and it's going to do it very well. But for me, it's a 5-ring circus here on Feature 1, Viva. 2007 Anna Biller Productions. I don't know if I'm going to have more 7 and 7. That's kind of a lot of carbonation, even though I got the sugar-free 7-Up. I still got some carbonation there, and you know what? I have some elderflower liqueur upstairs, and I invented... I tried a couple of recipes, and then I just accidentally invented one of the best drinks I've ever had, so I might make that and show you that on TikTok. Ooh, pardon me, see? When I'm talking about carbonation, I can hardly talk because I'm erping up carbonation. Well, let's go. I'll go to the lobby and get ourselves a new drink. And I'll be back for part 2, and I think you know what part 2 is, 2016. I'll be right back.